Welcome back, guys. I'm Keegan with Seared and Smoked, and today I'm excited to share with you an epic grill table build. We're doing a double egg kitchen. So for me, we're doing a large egg and an XL egg. It's gonna be badass. Some might ask, can you use a Kamado Joe? Absolutely, whatever you want. This table can hold large or XL sizes. All right, I got some of the work done, but we're gonna start putting this thing together. It's gonna look like something at the end of today. It's gonna be all framed up. We got our components all put together, and I do this so it's a nice, easy, modular build. So we have our 3 cabinets, and then the 2 shelves that the eggs are gonna sit on, along with the base frame in the back that we're building on top of. We're not putting casters on this. This is not gonna be a mobile unit. You probably could, but it's so heavy, I just don't really wanna risk it. I do have bumpers on the bottom here, and what that's gonna do, after we lay this down, it'll just keep moisture from being in contact with the framing. My scenario here, I got water drainage going left to right if we're looking at it right now. So it's gonna allow water to pass through underneath the wood and not just kind of wedge up against it and cause moisture issues in the long run. So we're gonna lay it down, start building on top. Should have our framing done here pretty soon. All right, we're pretty darn close to getting our framing wrapped up. We got all our main pieces in place, our 3 cabinets. We got the XL egg shelf there. We got our large egg shelf here. So really now we just need to wrap up some bracing to hold our flooring for the shelves, and just some bracing that I use to make sure that the siding is gonna be held in place nicely when we finish up this table. So everything's going really good. Just have a little workaround to add to the bracing to finish it off, and then we're completely done with the framing. And all I'm adding is a little bracing at the bottom of the cabinets. It's gonna hold our 3/4 inch plywood flooring on the bottom of it, so it's nice and sturdy. Looking at the size of the cabinets, it's kind of a larger span to address. So it could be a little a little iffy if we weren't to do this. So this is gonna make it nice and strong. For you guys, if you're gonna build it at home, it'll be in the plan set in the original cabinet drawings. So the bracing will already be there when you mount them on the base versus what we're doing now, which is kind of doing it after the fact. But it's good either way. It's gonna look great. All right, we're done with our framing. It is completely done. Now we are ready to move on to our shelving and the exterior of the outdoor kitchen, which is going to look amazing. I love getting the framing done. Now we can move on to the fun part. You can see I added the bracing down the center of the cabinets, so they'll be nice and strong. This is the part I love doing, all of the finishing work. So after we get our cabinets interiors done, we're gonna just go like rapid fire, getting the siding and all the trim work on. I got pretty much everything cut except for the front pieces, so this is gonna go real fast. So we can really see it coming together now. We got our trash bin cabinets here on both ends, large green egg, kind of our massive opening for the XL egg, and then another trash bin storage unit on the right, and a big old cabinet in the center with more storage underneath the eggs for kind of the more dirty accessories. So I think this is gonna work out great. Time to finish up the front, make some doors. And since it's a beautiful, balls cold day here in Iowa, we're gonna go inside, build some doors, and get that much closer to finishing this table. So we're working on the outside doors first. They're a little smaller than the inside door, so it's gonna be good practice for the larger door. And this is still cedar. This is just 3/4 inch cedar. You can use any width you want. I'm using 1x6, and mainly you just wanna make sure the end dimension is about 1/4 inch less than your door openings. So I've measured the door openings, cut these, I'm using 1/4 inch. I think that'll give me plenty of wiggle room when I mount these doors. And we're just gonna join these together. I'm gonna glue them up, and then we'll use some bracing to secure them to make them a little stronger. One issue you may run into is this bowed wood here. And now there's probably different ways you can tackle this. But what I'm gonna do is that instead of gluing this up in 3 pieces, I'm actually gonna rip these right down the center to make them smaller pieces, which should lay more flat, glue up easier, end up with a better door. We'll see. But that is my plan of attack. All right, we ripped the boards. They're about equal sized pieces now. And now we're gonna run them through the table saw on each side just to try to square up those edges a little bit more. So when you glue them up, it glues up nice and tight and just make it a little easier on you to get a nice finished product. And just like that, we have our door panels all situated. I like to arrange them so you got a nice variation in color, so you're not just lining up the same board with each other. Try to mix in the dark ones with the light ones, and you get a really nice look that way. And you can see that the boards lay a lot more flat now. There's a little bit of space between some of these down below, but it's way better than before. So this will just make it a lot easier to glue up, and you know that your boards are gonna be relatively flat and look good as doors. When we install them, they won't be all warpy looking, so this should go nicely. All right, it's a little cold out, but it's just about freezing, so I'm gonna seal what we have done now to protect it from the winter weather and the spring weather. That's a concern for me, so we're using Penafin Ultra. It's gonna give it a nice look. I've used it on the previous tables, like the Rectech one behind me here, and it looks great. So we'll take a chance. All right, we're done with that. I feel much better. When it's gonna sleet and snow tomorrow night, I can rest a little easier, and it looks great too. It just really brings out the color in the wood. Looks amazing. Cold and windy day out, so we're gonna do what we can to try to finish things off. Spend a little time inside mounting these brackets for our sliding door mechanisms, and the sliding mechanisms that hold these trash bins is really easy to install on the floor of the cabinets. The tricky part is what I'm doing now, which is trying to carefully measure and mark where these go on the face of these doors so we can slide them in and hopefully they're nice and centered. I expect some adjustment, so I'm just gonna film this trial and error situation and see how it plays out. that actually went a lot better than I was expecting. It actually worked without a lot of adjustment. How about that? Get lucky sometimes. All right, finally, I think I got all my stuff done just in time for the countertops to be installed tomorrow. We're going with soapstone. It's kind of like a granite look. Got a really good deal on these slabs, so I hope they look good. We'll have to see tomorrow as they get installed. Whew. Man, I'm excited to be done. This has been a little bit of a long process through the winter, especially with some cold weather we had in there, and we had a ton of snow this year, so I had to start and stop a lot. Otherwise, it would have gone a lot faster. Hopefully, when you do this, you start it during good weather at home, and it's a little easier for you. But I'm really excited about some of the features we pulled off on this one that I haven't done in the past, such as these slide-out trash bins. These are great. I'm really looking forward to using this to keep me way more organized and keep just more clutter off the patio. I'm gonna use one side for charcoal and the other side for trash and recycling, and I'm gonna find that super handy, I think, so I'm excited about that. And the inset doors is something I had not tried as well. Always done the overlap in the past. This is a little bit more of a challenge. You just have to be a little more careful with your measurements and cuts, but we pulled it off. They're not perfect. The gaps could be a little better on each side of some of these different cabinets, but the overall look is great, and I think it's something you could do at home as well. And the kicker was the soapstone countertop, paying up a little bit. Instead of going cedar or some other wood product for the countertops, we did soapstone, and I think it looks amazing. I'm super happy with this. Really glad I did it. And if you want to build one of these yourself, you can check out plans right here to my left. You can click on there for all the plans at searedandsmoked.com. And I'll go ahead and give you a 15% discount with the code BIGASSTABLE. That's right, Big Ass Table will get you 15% off on any grill table plans you find at searedandsmoked.com. And check out my other videos on grill table plans right up there as well, and some more information for you depending on what type of build you want to do.